Hi, it's Rachel here. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I am finally here doing my video to show you how I did these. Now, I haven't pulled everything out that I need, but I've got a bit out. So I guess we will, why don't we work on the one that had the white at the top. We might just do one. We'll see how we go. Oh, that one's not stitched very well. It's got a bit of a hole there. I have to whip stitch that closed. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, so this one is something similar to this here. So you want to stamp this part here. On that one I used this ink here, Pine Cone, VersaFine Clear Pine Cone. And so I just inked up my stamp. Don't need to go all the way down, I don't think, do I? No, just about that much. And it's very, very fast job. Just press it down. There we go, that's perfect. Flip it over and do it again. These are really whizzy gifts, except for the, oops, except for the hand stitching part. Okay, so I got a bit on there, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't get it done on the weekend. What happened on the weekend? I think I was a bit. Oh, I got some Christmas journals finished. Got one more to finish, and then I can go back to normality and get on with the non-Christmas. It's just that the reason why I had to get on with the Christmas was that you've got, you know, you have to pull out all the Christmas stuff. So so I've just cleaned that off, and I thought I might put a butterfly. Now I do have this little stamped squirrel here. I could put that on there, but let's just see what the butterfly looks like. What color is this? That's navy. Maybe we'll do a navy blue butterfly. Oh, I've got blue there. I won't open that one. I'll do this one. Now I need to just choose a fabric. So yeah, so any fabric. I mean, whatever you like, a linen or a you know, a cotton or a hemp here. This is good. But you just don't, oh, I love this. This is getting holes in it. It's wearing out. I love that. You just don't want it too, you know, to be too loose a weave. This probably would fare better if I put it on its block, on a block, but I can't remember what these were. Okay, so just, oops, lift that off there and plonk it down there. Give it a press and see how it stamps. Very nicely. Nice butterfly. And we might put the butterfly on there. Okay. Put those in the bag. And where's my wet one? Give that a wipe. Right. And it's probably not that dry, but anyway, we'll give it we'll cut it. And I'll show you how I stitch it on. So it's after lunch now, and I tell you what, we've had quite a morning. So my husband had to renew his passport, and living in a bureaucratic country, it's not an easy process getting your passport done. There we go, so that's going to go there. And that's where I covered up my boo-boo on this one. And then I put some, okay, we'll do that as well. So let me grab my itchy bites. Yeah, so we had to go down. Basically, he took all. You can get all of the forms to fill out off the internet, off the Ministry of Police website. Oh, here we go. I've got some thread already here. Why don't I use that one? However, he went down there and basically, I think I might have mentioned this in a previous video. He had to get my permission to be able to have a passport, which is hilarious. Like, who's the foreigner? I'm the foreigner. Like, I'm the one more likely to go somewhere. Anyway, so they took all of the, fortunately for us, they took all of the info, and they proceeded with the passport anyway. But when they told him when he had to go and pick it up, you know, like he had to come down with this form filled out, me giving him permission to have a passport because of our daughter. But 10 years ago we didn't have to do it, and there was Lulu, so I don't know. So what I'm doing is I'm catching the bag here and here, and it's going to slip slightly under this, so you won't see the knot. I find that easier than going inside the bag. and I'm just whip stitching around. I've got my finger in there, so I'm not stitching this side of the bag, if you know what I mean. I'm not stitching it closed. And I'm just going to go around. Like you could do a decorative stitch. In this case, I'm just going to whip stitch this. So you're just whipping over, you're catching it just over the edge there, and sewing it on. Whoops. I did not use a fabric ink. Probably, maybe if it got wet, it might smudge. But for this sort of little thing, I don't think it's really necessary to worry about whether it's fabric ink or not. So, knowing my luck, the postman will come. I'll have to start the video again. Well, I'll just have to do 2 parts because, as I told you, I'm recording on my telephone, and I can't get the videos off my phone, so I have to upload from my phone to YouTube. And so if I can't get them off my phone into the computer, I can't join them together, and there will be a part 1 before the postman and a part 2 after the postman, or postwoman, postperson, I should say, because it's actually a lady, usually. Yep, so I'm just going around, all the way around, and I think I'm showing you this one. It's got more bits on it, I think, than the other ones. And then when you get round to a certain direction, now the right-handed people will be different. It's just a little bit more fiddly because, you know, the bag's already made up, so it's kind of hard to hold it. And I didn't put anything inside because I found that this ink does not go right through. So now it's a little bit more complex for me to hold it. I mean, you could glue the image on. Of course you can glue it. However, I think hand sewing is much nicer if you can be bothered. I actually find it very relaxing. Oh, so I was saying we went down, and I was annoyed with Steffi because I dropped Lulu off at school, and I said to him, I'll get you up before I take her to school and you can get ready, and then when I come back we can go down. And he's like, no, I'm sleeping in, because, you know, he has to sleep in. And well, I was not happy about that. I said, you need to get there before they open, otherwise we'll be waiting forever. Well, no, he said, I don't have to do the line. I said, okay. So I'm not catching the other side. I can feel it, and I haven't caught it, but I might just double check before I go any further. It's not caught, you see. And anyway, we get down there. We took a ticket. We had 50 or 60 people in front of us. Can you imagine? I was fuming. I said, we're going to be here forever. And we asked the policeman there that was sort of guarding, and he said, oh no, you have even to pick up your passport, because that's all we had to do, just give the form and pick up the passport. He said, no, you have to do the line. So we were there for 2 hours. Fortunately, some people had taken a ticket, or they'd made a mistake for the wrong area, because there's also the office there, which is a nightmare for me as a foreigner. And so sometimes they accidentally take the ticket for the passports instead of the one for the foreigners. So fortunately, there were quite a few people who left. Now I've got this pretty piece. I wonder if I'll put that's a bit big. I don't mind it, but it's a bit big. It would be nice over there. No. It only took 2 hours. Otherwise, we would never have been seen if there were all the people that had taken a ticket there. So we spent the whole morning at the Questura getting the passport, and it took us literally 5 minutes to give them the form and pick up the passport. Can you imagine? Anyway, we were chatting to all the people in there that were also waiting, and we ended up being quite entertained chatting to everybody. There were interesting people there, and there were the usual pusher-inners too. That's that other one that I pulled out before. Maybe I could cut off a smaller piece. Yes, maybe I'll trim off just a smaller piece of that one, just to decorate the other side. I mean, you could put the stamp again on the other side if you wanted to. You could put a different stamp on the other side. You could put like, you know, a piece of fabric like that. You could do anything that you like. I'm just going to go with the lace, and this is the same stitching as I've just done to capture this. So I'll thread my needle. You could also stitch this down. You could even become more snazzy. You could stitch this down and then oh, see, now I like that. Maybe I'll do that on another one. What a good idea. I like that, the layering effect. I think I did that on another one, didn't I? Which one did I do that on? On that one I layered it on the little skirt. So yes, so I didn't get anything done. I wanted to get my video done in the morning, and I had orders to package, and nothing. Spent the morning waiting in line. So then we went and had a walk. I said, oh well, I was very angry with him because I said, you told me a lie. You told me you didn't have to wait in the line, and I would have much preferred to have been there at 9 and waited my 2 hours from 9 until 11 rather than get there at 10 or 10:30 and wait, no, 10 we must have gotten there, and wait until midday, and then we had to hang around and wait till we picked up Lulu. There's no point in going home. And so I basically lost the whole morning. I didn't get anything done. At least I would have gotten something done if he had gotten out of bed. So anyway, but he did get up. He did end up getting up fairly early, like at 9, but just not at 7:30 when I wanted him to get up. So anyway, it's done. We can go to Australia now. It's done. Until we have to do the next ones, which will be Lulu when hers expires. But and then I was saying, only in Italy could you have to line up for 2 hours to wait for to pick up your passport, that you can't even, there's no simple way of getting it done, and you have to go down a few times, and there's always something missing, and oh, it just becomes a nightmare. And this lady said, it's not as bad as from where I come from. And I said, well, in Australia, when I last did mine through the Australian Embassy, and that was really easy. I just had to mail it. They didn't accept my photographs because they're very fussy about the photographs now. Like, they weren't the right size, and then I was smiling too much. You're not allowed to smile, and but I got it done. And anyway, then so this lady said she's from Venezuela, and she's had an appointment for 3 years to go and renew her Venezuelan passport. 3 years. She still hasn't got the appointment to do it. So she said it's a nightmare in their country. I thought only Italy was bad. But there you go. No, the last time I did my passport in Australia, which would have been in 2000 and something, I basically just went to the post office, and the post office took the photograph, you gave them the forms, and it arrived with registered mail at home. Easy peasy. It's also pretty easy to renew your license there too. In Italy, you have to do go through this whole rigmarole and wait in lines, and you have to have a doctor's visit, and the doctors have to visit your eyes, and do the seeing test and all that sort of thing. Whereas in Australia, you go to the motorisation, take your ticket, and then they do it all for you, and they give it to you right then and there. I mean, you pay your money, but you pay money here as well. So yes, those sorts of things here are not simple. And then of course the lady before us, oh goodness me, they had the door open, of course. It was like an office, sort of with the sort of windows, and the police were behind the windows doing all the paperwork and stuff. And this woman, you could hear the policewoman saying, nope, the computer's not accepting the photographs. You'll have to go and do your photographs again. It won't accept it. And this woman you could hear she was getting louder and louder. She was arguing with the policewoman. And I said to all of our new friends that we'd made standing there for 2 hours, why would you argue with the policewoman about your photograph? If she tells you it's not right, it's obviously not right. Just go and do it again and come back. And this woman, she wouldn't go away. And then we went into the office, and policewoman came out from behind the glass window and screamed at her. So I didn't actually, we were too busy trying to get ours done and be quick, so I didn't actually hear what this other woman had said, but she obviously said something that was really rude and upset the policewoman because she stood at the door and screamed at her. So that lady's going to have a tough time getting her passport, I think. I wouldn't be arguing with the policewoman. So yes, it was quite an eventful morning, really. I'm just stitching up, as you can see, I'm just mending that little hole there, that because this is one of, as I mentioned in the previous video, these sacks are those very loosely woven cotton linen blends from China. It's quite nice textural fabric, but it's very frayy, and obviously it's been stitched too close to the edge, and so it's frayed and made a hole. Okay, and then I didn't like the white, so I'm going to stitch a lace up there, and I could do this same lace as I used before. Let me just see in my drawer. I think I've got this one. Maybe I'll do this one for a change. Yes, why don't I do that one? Switch it up. Okay, so I just grab some more cotton. And you could glue. If you don't sew and you don't want to sew, you can glue. Now I don't cut my lace. I'll cut it at the end, so don't waste any. And which way do I go? I need to go that way, so I'll start from over here. That's it. I think I might be stitching on my lace backwards, but it doesn't matter, I don't care. So I'm just going to go under my lace, so I capture my knot under there, and you don't, just stitch it down as best you can. So it's a bit of a long process. I wish I could, if I could stop my my phone, I would. Although this is not covering up the white very much, but it doesn't matter. It's just a demonstration, really. So again, just whipping around, whizzing around, giving it a bit of a whip stitch. Hopefully you can see. Oh, I didn't even check if I'm on screen. Am I recording? Yes, I'm doing it all. Okay, good. Right. So I guess you saw with my last video why. So I find one of my bits I find the hardest when making a journal is deciding the pockets. And then sometimes even what I'm going to put in the pocket, because you can put too much of the handmade stuff in. And then of course it's really bulky, and sometimes you just need a few simple things in there as well. So that's for me is the hardest part of the whole process. I'm just going right around here. So that's why I actually don't think, I always feel like if I make a journal and if I were to make my ephemera and pockets as I go, I would feel like it just is never ending. Whereas I do sessions where I'll make belly bands, as you've seen, or I'll make, this is just the way I feel like I like to work. I feel like I'm streamlining my process a little bit. And then I'll make my tucks and pockets, and maybe I'll make a bit mix of book page things and bags and that sort of stuff. And then I've just got a whole lot of stuff, so I pull it out. Sometimes I don't sort of designate what's going where before I start, whereas actually I think it's better if you sort of have if you've got 3 signatures, sort of lay them out in front of you in the order they're going to go, and then you put one of this here, one of this there, and you sort of know before you start what you're going to include, and then you can just decide where in that signature it's going to go. But I find that's the easiest way to sort of do that part of the job. I find that's the worst part is deciding those things. And it takes time, because then of course I stitch them in. It takes time if you glue them in too, because I find I have to clip them. So I'm actually going to go back and stitch that down, because I don't want the skirt look at the top. probably don't need to finish that. I mean, it's pretty fast. It's not, how long has it taken to do one bag? Not long. And then maybe I'll just show you quickly putting the skirt on. The other one, this one's simple. I didn't do anything. I just stitched on a bit of the fluffy stuff and then put the Santa over the top. And that, the stitch around the Santa is the same as this stitch that I'm doing, just with embroidery floss, so you can see it. I also tend to feel that possibly if you were to glue fabric to fabric, it might be a little bit limited as to how long it would last. Maybe the glue might wear off. I'm not a glue expert, but I tend to think that it might not last as long as if you stitch it until the fabric disintegrates. It's there forever. And there we go. And then just to end off, I didn't show you that before, just go through and capture, pull it tight and maybe do it again. And that will be secure enough. And there we've made our little bag. So let's just shovel something in there so you can see what it looks like puffed out. I must remember that I put these things in here, and then I might be searching for them and I can't find them because I've put them in the bag and I've left them there. Okay, and then just pull it. Oh, isn't that cute? There you go. That's a super sweet little bag there. So that's that one, and let's just do this one here. Oh, that's already got some paper in there. We will do some stamping. I'll use the other colour. I like the other. Maybe I'll stamp with the blue. Why not? I'll do blue writing. Let's do blue writing, see what that looks like. Because I love the brown, and I did love the green. Or maybe I should have done green. Now this one, I'm going to do it all. I need to stamp the whole thing, and I maybe don't want to catch my cords with the stamps, so I'll just tuck those under. That's what I did. See, I did the whole thing. Isn't that lovely? Nice colour. Lovely. Okay, oh, I'm getting ink all over my fingers. I don't know if I'm on screen here. Oh, making a bit of a mess. Oh, it keeps sticking to me. Stop it. Down you go. There we go. That's, oh, lovely. I like it. I do like it. Okay. So I'll just make sure that's closed, put that away. And then I'm going to put, oh, I did the wrong one. Okay, that's okay, I'll leave that one. I wanted to do this one. What a goose. Okay, that's okay, we'll just stamp it again. You can see me stamp it again. What fun. So I don't need to do the bottom because I'm not, well, I could stamp. Actually, maybe I will do this one a bit different to my other one. My other one I didn't stamp the bottom, but I would stamp this one. Oh, and I didn't tuck my things under. Oh, well. Oh, I did a different colour. What colour? Oh, I didn't pull out the blue one. I wanted to do the blue one. Oh, well, I'm doing the pine cone. You just got to go with it. If you make a mistake, just go with it. I mean, it's going to be, they're all nice. It's not the end of the world. You might be making more than two, so you can just do the next one the way you were thinking. There we go. Nice and stamped. That's what happens when you're not thinking about what you're doing. You just move, you know, your head's moved on to the next step before, and you're not thinking about it, and then you make boo-boos. Okay, so now, excuse me, I'm just going in my lacy drawer. I've got many lacy drawers, as you know, to see what I might like to use. I'm obviously not going to use my best of the best. But I wanted one that was quite deep. What have I got here? I don't think that one will do that. Oh yes, that's very pretty. I'm going to use this one. It's gorgeous. I love this one, but it's that way, so I have to go that way. That's going backwards. See, for me, that's going backwards when I'm sewing, so I'll need to go like this, and I'll just need to cut it off. I don't normally do that, but I can see that the reverse is different to the back, so it would be obvious. So that way I can start my stitching like that. And I'm going to have it, I'm not actually going to put it flush with that. I want it to come down. And as I said, if you weren't, like in my case, I had these ones, now I've lost my needle, I had these ones with the white bottoms. I could have, if I thought about it, if I were organised, I could have dipped them into coffee or tea, and I wouldn't have had that issue. Okay, so I've got my thread, and what I did last time was I didn't stitch it all the way down the side. I just started a little way up because I want it to stay loose. So I'm only going to go from halfway. And I didn't make my knot big enough, so let me just capture a tighter weave. There we go. Oops! Oh, I got tangled in the phone. Sorry, guys. Hopefully, oh gosh, I hope I didn't flick around. Hopefully not. Otherwise, you'll have half the video upside down. Well, that would just be normal, a normal day for me, wouldn't it? And I'll tell you what, in a minute, I'll probably slide off my chair because it slipped out from under me. Okay. I really do like hand stitching. I don't really enjoy sitting at my machine all the time, but I do enjoy hand stitching. And this type of hand stitching really doesn't take that long. It's something that you could do just sitting. You could stamp all your bags in your little room or wherever you do it, at your table, and then you could sit with a little basket of things to choose from and do it in front of the TV. Oh, and I know what I forgot. You know my 10 crafty questions. Because I did it on the fly, I didn't pre-prepare my answers. I did forget a few people that I would like to mention. I actually made a list and I don't have the list with me, do I? Because I'm so disorganized. There were a few people that I watch religiously that I didn't mention. One of them is Laurie Girl on the Ridge. Absolutely love Laurie. And the other one, of course, is Artie Mays. Love watching Artie Mays. She's amazing. So I didn't mention her because I was doing it on the fly. I also, who else didn't I mention? Let me think about it while I stitch. You know, can think while you're stitching. This is not difficult. I did write a list down. Who else did I forget? I said twins for me. Ideas ×2. I watch all of these ladies, all of them. Sometimes I watch, what's her name? She's a very clever lady. She's an English lady. Oh, I forgot Crafty Dork. I watch her as well. And I actually had done the video twice, and then I don't know what happened, the doorbell rang or something, so I had to do it again. And I had mentioned Crafty Dork, but then I didn't, of course I didn't remember again the second time round. There were so many more that I would like to tag that I'd like to know more about, but we're only meant to tag 3, so I tagged my 3. And now I'm having a blank. I'll probably have to mention them again in my next video. Now I'm just going to tuck this under, like so. And then I'm just going to flip it around this way. Now this is a little bit fiddly for me because I'm a lefty, but it's nice thick fabric, so I can see that I'm not capturing, catching the other side. So I stitch my bag closed. So I want that stitch to go over there. That's it. I just want to stitch this a little bit so it stays in place. And I'll just check that one. That one felt like it was a bit thick. Oh no, I didn't catch any more than I had to. Okay. And then my last stitch, I'll end it off. Maybe I'll put one more, just for good measure. So that's that. Okay. And then I think I'm going to put my my cute little, now that one was pretty because it had the nice contrast with the beige and the linen colour. This one's a bit more blendy, but I still think it'll be pretty when you fill it and put things in. Now I could decide to put that there to cover up the join, or I could flip it over. Oh, I like that side more. I'm going to flip it over and put that here is where I'm going to put it. And I just need to hop up and grab my embroidery threads because I didn't bring those down. What colour might I like? I used a terracotta for that one. I think I might like a blue. I think I'm going to use a blue. So here are the blues. And I love these two more Frenchy sort of blues. So I'll show you them. They're DMC. It's 3768 and 931. I like both of those. I might use that one. They're my favourites out of those because they're not quite a navy blue, and I don't know, they're just like, they give me the idea of a antique blue. And I'll probably use 3 strands because I like the thickness of 3 strands. If you found it fiddly, you could put a little bit of, you know, glue in the center just to help you hold it in place if you're worried about it moving around. Now what have I got here? I've got 2 strands plus 1, so that makes 3. Wait just a sec. Pull it the right way. Oh, one's like, no, I don't want to use this. I'll tell you why. Because I want it longer. I don't want to stop and start. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I don't want to stop and start. So I'm going to get a bit of a longer piece. Hopefully I don't have to stop and start. And then one of the most advisable ways to separate your 3 strands is to separate it from the center out. Can I see? Yes, there you go. Because you do get into a bit of a tangle. That end came out. And there we go. Oh, and for those who are new, who don't know how to do, there's this very tricky method of doing a knot. So you get your tail here, you've got your needle like this, you've got the pointy end up, just put the tail down. My sister taught me this. It's like, and then, so you've got your tail down the bottom of your needle where it's threaded. Just hold it and wrap it around 2 or 3 times, and very not too tightly, and just pull it down to the end. And you get a knot. You get a bit of a tail there, so trim that off. You don't want that. Easy way to do a knot. And for good measure, just to show you what I mean, let's put a little bit of glue. Just so you can see. Put a little bit of glue there. It should stay in place a little bit better. Won't jiggle about. Oh, I like this. Okay, might jiggle about a little bit. Okay. So, and we might do, just to do something different, we'll do running stitch. Running stitch is a bit faster than seed stitch, not seed stitch, what's it called? Whip stitch. Because you do a few less. So this is just, basically you're stabbing it up and down, but I actually just put my needle under. I can feel it with my other finger and using my thumb to tell me where to come back up again. You can jab the needle up and down if you want to. You'll get closer stitches that way. I'm not like my sister does, perfect. Everything's the same size, the same distance. I'm not like that. It's just, I wish I could do them like that because it looks very nice when it's like that. So yeah, this is the fast way. So you're running your needle in there like that and then pull it. And that's why it's so fast. And running stitch is basically the same as cantha stitch, borrow stitching, shashiko stitching is the same stitch. It's just shashiko, they do it around a geometrical sort of pattern. Seed stitching is totally different. Seed stitching is random stitches like little seeds going around, like little rice grains, just going around in all different directions. That's seed stitch. This is running stitch. So I'm just going to be careful here that I don't capture. This is the awkward way around for me, because it will be a direction, because you're sewing on an already made bag. There will be a direction that's a little bit awkward. That's good. And as I get down a bit further, I think I can then put my finger back in. I also quite often use my thumb. My thumb helps me hold the fabric flat in place, that you're not getting puckering or that sort of thing. So this is a bit awkward here, but when I get down the end, it'll be better. Just check. No, see? I don't know if you can see in there. I've captured it through to there, so I don't want to do that. Maybe if I slip this in here, if I slip that in there, what I can do is push it through. Oh no, wait, my card's not in the right spot. I can push my needle until I hit the card without worrying about going through to the other side, you see. Then I can turn the corner without any troubles. And now I probably don't need it anymore. Got big dog's teeth stitches I've done. That's what my mum says. They look like big dog's teeth. Now you see why. When you see her sewing, oh my goodness, it's like perfect. Even her non-perfect sewing is perfect. Okay. And I'm just going to go over where my knot was. It's not, obviously not, I didn't go through the fabric, so I just want to put my stitch. I'm going to tuck my knot in. I want to put my stitch here. And then I'm going to end it off. Because it's coloured and you'd be able to see, I need to push it through here, pull my stitch all the way through, and then I need to end it off here. And to end it off, I just capture a few of the, a bit of the fabric, and then do the same thing as before, and then capture the fabric again and do it again and pull it tight, and that's your knot. It's not hard. Okay, and that little bag is done, and it's very cute. It's a little bit crooked. So let's empty, oh, no, we'll leave that one full, and I'll just grab this fabric and shovel it inside. Now you know why all my fabric is wrinkled all the time, and you know I don't iron. I'm not an ironer. That's just not me. I only iron when I have to. Okay. Pull it, and there you have your little bag. It's got a little skirt, and you could do something on the other side if you want to, or leave it like that. Depends how busy. Did I do anything on the other side of it? No, I didn't. I just left it. So there's the two bags. That just shows you how they are done. Hopefully you can see them there. And later this week I'll be back with the idea number 5. Whew, the pressure. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.